Our top story is the big one. This is the big daddy, the Xbox Series X. Now, two different series have come out. There are a few differences between the two, and we'll take you through that also. But this is the Xbox Series X. There is a Series S also. The big difference, of course, is that this has a Blu-ray disc reader inside it. That is the obvious one in front of you. There are other subtle ones, including the look and feel of the entire thing. But this is actually gaming at a whole new level. I mean, there was a time when people had thought the last Xbox and the last PlayStation had come out because they were getting too powerful. But this is almost like a supercomputer in a box. Now, this is big. It's pretty heavy. It has a lot going for it, including the fact that we really took it through its paces. So what's our final verdict? Well, I'm going to give you our first impressions. We'll give you our final verdict in our review. First and foremost, this is the ultimate gaming machine. But not too many games have come out right now that can actually use that ultimate gaming machine experience totally and absolutely, use all the absolute power that this machine has and actually show it to you on screen. That's my first impression and observation. Number two, we're going to use it on a really, really good display or TV, because anything less than 4K, you're not really using it for what it is. You could go for the previous generation and still get good stuff out of it. And number three, and this is where I really feel things get interesting, is that war between the Xbox and the PlayStation is absolutely and totally alive.
It was 2001. Sony was dominating the console gaming business. The PlayStation 2 was smashing records left, right and center. The DualShock controller ruled gaming domes and it looked as if there was no stopping for Sony. Until one fine day when Microsoft introduced the Xbox. The console wars had begun. In 2020, history is repeating itself with both PS5 and Xbox Series X going joystick to joystick against each other. There is some time before we review the PlayStation, but worry not today, we are reviewing its dance partner, the mighty Xbox Series X. Microsoft has gone ahead with a very minimalist design for the Series X. It's a block with just one curve on it. The advertisements have really not done justice to this form factor, but if you ask us, it is the best design in Xbox history. It's uniform, which means you can keep it both ways, horizontally and vertically. But do remember that the base plate cannot be removed. In our game room, we kept it just the way it's being promoted as, vertically. The console comes with a ton of accessibility options, an Ethernet port, 2 HDMI ports, 3 USB ports and a storage expansion slot. Shifting our scope to the controller, the one we get with the Series X looks strikingly similar to the previous generations with minute changes like a USB Type-C port on the remote. With that favorable change, Microsoft has carried forward one really annoying feature. The controller, just like previous generations of the device, works with AA batteries. Microsoft not going ahead with rechargeable controllers even in 2020 is appalling, to say the least. It is time to fire up the Series X and see firsthand what it is capable of. In a high-end console like this, a gamer can fairly expect a new UI, but that is not the case here. The UI is similar to the one we see on the older Xbox One X. From Microsoft's perspective, it was done to provide an easy transition, but a refreshed and unique take would have definitely added to the experience. Team Xbox has done their homework this time around. The console comes with 12.1 teraflops of computational power for gaming. That's almost twice as powerful from the Xbox One X and on paper 20% faster than the PS5 at the same price point. In practicality, that means gaming in 4K 60 frames per second is the new normal. But this is also bound to cause some problems because not every screen can support that refresh rate. In a nutshell, to really enjoy this console is better if you have a great display as well. To make this review more interesting, we tested the performance out of the Series X with a gamer. So let's hear it from him, what he has to say about the latest console.
So after spending some quality time with the Xbox Series X, it is safe to say that it is the most powerful Xbox to date. And why not? It is the Series X after all. Well, the highlight feature here is that it has got that 1 TB SSD drive that really cuts short the loading time here. It is so fast that I have wondered why did I live without it all along. The booting speed is very quick and you won't even remember what a loading screen used to look like. It's unfortunate that we don't have a lot of games to test on the Series X right now. Because most of the exclusives are not really out there. Until next year, we won't be able to test the actual computational power of the Series X.
The game day is over and it's time for the verdict. It is only fair to assume that the Series X will wow us with more exciting games in the future because there is nothing substantial on which we judge it currently. In the meantime, whichever existing games you throw at it, you will get to see smoother frame rates, a higher refresh rate, and the loading time will be drastically cut short. Now available in India for Rs 49,990, the Series X is hands down the most powerful console ever built.